Heads up, FPV. I figured out what we need to do to get people's names to show up from Facebook.
Yeah?
There's like this link they have to click, and then they have to allow permission, and then after that it's fine.
Interesting.
But you're going live, so let's do that. And you're up.
Hello.
What are we doing?
Perfect.
How's it going, everybody? Today's plan, did I unmute the mic? I did. Okay, so today's plan is to build another TinyTrainer, and then we're going to put this one on the store. I think we're going to go all teal on this one. I have a teal canopy, I have a teal print, we even have the teal left-hand antenna, and then we have this battery tray made by Free. Mark Huff on Facebook. I guarantee if you message him, he'd make you one. It has little 533 wings on it. And I'm probably right after this going to message him and ask him to send us a couple for the store. Because he has got like a pallet set up, like a 3D printer. So it takes like a couple spools. I think some of them can take up to like 8 spools. And then there's like this little heating block inside, and then it cuts the filaments and then splices them together perfectly. So then it's just feeding different colors to the printer.
That's crazy. I didn't know it did that. I thought it was like dual, like multiple
extruders.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're like that's one way some places do it. Some do like tool changes, and then some of them have like right on top, and then it'll actually pull it out, put another one in. But this one just splices it in line and then makes some cool stuff.
No, it's pretty cool. You have the wings right there on. So this is something you can't buy in the store. So if you buy this ready to fly, then you'll get a custom battery tray.
We're gonna do this one like exactly like we would for a TinyTrainer race. Perfect. We're not gonna do a full LED kit, but I will put a arm LED on the middle.
Yeah.
Because we always try to keep it like light. Less mass you can put out on the arms, the better it's gonna fly.
What's the minimum weight for the races this year?
160 grams.
160 grams. That's with the battery and everything.
Max battery weight is 50 grams because we had some people flying. I don't even know what it was. It was like 1,000 mAh or more.
It was 850, but it was a TinyTrainer that they would sand down the arms and then put this huge 850 mAh battery and essentially like increase their battery size by over 50%, and it was way faster, obviously, but you would lose all the benefits of a TinyTrainer. You had super skinny arms; it would break. You had to cut up the canopy. It was disgusting.
You had the battery rubber banded on.
Yeah, rubber band. It was gross. So that was a rule we put in place to try and keep it, the I guess the spirit of TinyTrainer still there. You want to have a nice looking, durable quad that you can just slide a battery in the battery tray. So that's where that rule came from.
And ultimately, it didn't win because it was like a sketchy build.
Yeah, and I think it caught on fire
or something. It fell off the block because something like desynced because there was a lot weird going on.
Yeah, so Vanover still won with a completely stock setup.
Except he was upside down.
Yeah, he did run the top mount, which was cool.
The mount. Do they put the mount on the bottom too, and then put the battery inside? Or do
I think they did flip the mount and then they put the motors on top. There's a million different ways you can build it, but it was a popular way at the Ice Storm, and that's what Vanover ended up winning with. Even though everybody had the double batteries and the big batteries, this is what ended up winning ultimately. So it's a tried and true setup, flies obviously really well, and performs when it counts, I guess.
So the plan for today, we're going to build it, flash it, and fly it because Beta FPV sent us these AIOs, but they have BMI gyros, and we want to see if we want to order more. So they have a ton of them in stock, but they were nice enough to send us one to test to see if we want the other ones because we originally had MPU 6000s in this setup with the pre-soldered wires and everything. So we're going to try it with the BMI, and if it flies well, we're immediately going to order a bunch, so then we're going to have them on the store. Because right now we have the F7 AIOs, but those work in here. But we're hoping that the BMI
we're going
works
to try,
out.
because if this works, then we'll have a lot of supply of all-in-ones. So biggest worry is that we're going to run out of stock of things, and all of you guys know that situation. So if we have this, then we have a huge supply, and that'll be great for everyone, and nobody will be waiting for an all-in-one or trying to buy some sketch all-in-one off some website, and because that seems like that's happened before. So hopefully we get a large stock in so everybody has nice, reliable gear for the series this year.
And there's really no difference other than clicking a preset to set this up because it's the same hex file. You still click Beta FPV F405 whenever you're flashing it. And the only difference is you'll go into presets and you'll find the BMI preset for single gyro, and then you'll add that, and the plan is that'll make it fly exactly.
And we're going to see. You guys will watch live, see if it flies horrible or if it flies fine.
We'll open up the garage door.
Just fly right out the garage door.
We'll see what happens. But that's the plan. We probably need to get a battery going.
Yeah, I'll charge it.
And then we're going to start building.
Cool.
Let some cold air
Where's the best outlet to plug in? Perfect. This charger is really handy. It's like got, well, they can't see.
4 XT30s.
XT30s, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about it is the scroll wheel. It like doesn't want to
Yeah,
go
it doesn't like to scroll.
the other direction. So, yeah, I think we'll go with the teal antenna, and then we have this teal Axis seatbelt mount, and we actually just added these to the store. So if you want to build one of these, the only thing that you might have to print yourself, or we can add to the store if we talk to Yasum, because Yasum designed this mount. You can probably add it to the store as well. These are pretty easy to print. I don't think I'd use any supports. This might give you a better look at the battery tray. I really like this one. The other one he did for me was the American flag one. I really don't know what happened to that drone. I like that one. Where did, like that's? I feel like that's hard to lose. It's sitting around somewhere.
Maybe somebody else really liked it too.
Yeah. Because I remember he gave me the battery tray at Ice Storm, and I like somehow ripped one. And then I asked people which one I should put on it, and everybody was like, you need the American flag one. So yeah, sometimes you just need to get some side cutters, open this up, and then you just slide her in. And that'll go right on your back standoffs. But first things first, we have our AIO mounted. We have our motors in there. And then your AIO comes with these plugs. And this plug will be for your receiver. And then this plug is for your VTX. And then it comes with some other hardware. And whenever we ship this out as a ready to fly, it'll come with all the extra stuff. So if you want to go back to the variable angle camera mount, it'll have it. If you want to run the fin and the flip stick, you can run it. It'll come with your other canopy, all your prop screws. But we don't use any of that. I don't ever use a flip stick. I don't ever put prop screws in. And we just kind of let it ride.
The flip stick is definitely nice if you're flying in grass.
Yes.
Like for us, like a lot of these indoor races, you don't really need it necessarily. But if you're flying in grass, the flip stick's great. Let's see.
I need a TinyTrainer. Free is the man.
Somebody says this is Bind and Fly ELRS. I think this one's going to be
today we're
Ghost.
going Ghost, but we're going to build up like 6 more this week. We're just waiting on... What? No, we have everything.
We have everything, so...
So the other Bind and Flies won't have the F405. It'll have the F7 AIL, just because we don't have any of the F405s yet, but we probably will by next week if everything goes well today. And if this one doesn't fly well with a BMI, we're still going to have it available for sale because we have one here with an MPU 6000.
So yeah, we would just swap it out.
It'll just be, we'll call an audible after it flies away on us. We might have to go find it in the driveway.
That's funny. Well, hopefully it flies good. I have faith. The thing with the TinyTrainer that we've noticed is that it seems like no matter what you do to them, they fly good. Like you can have a prop, like 2 blades on a prop. It's, yeah, they seem to just
I think
always
in
fly
general, if you have a heavier quad for like its setup, like this is a pretty heavy 3-inch.
good. Yeah.
Or like if you have a pretty heavy 5-inch, you get away with a lot more. Like you don't
Yeah.
need to have a perfectly clean build and a stack that's completely isolated from any noise. You can get away with a lot because little tiny changes in motor output from vibrations are going to have way less of an effect on a heavy craft than they would on something that's super light, crazy high powered weight. It's just like everything's going to have a pretty crazy effect on it, and then that's how you end up with a bad flying drone.
Well, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but hopefully it still flies.
I know a lot of people that just put that BMI preset on and had great flying. Some people say they even fly better.
Yeah, that's what, I think Charles was saying something like that.
And yeah, your dad, his favorite Spec 7, Street League quad is the one with that Radix.
Oh yeah, I think it's not MPU 6000 right now.
Yeah.
Well, then we should be in good company, and
Yeah,
all the live stream builds go up for sale right after the live stream for the price of parts.
Yeah. And well, usually right after we take a pretty picture. That's the thing that takes.
Armando and I had a discussion yesterday about the product pictures on 533 and how we plan to improve those. So, we were really joking about how bad the TinyTrainer product picture was for like the entirety of its existence, and we were like, we gotta fix that. So there's a nice, pretty picture of it on a launch stand, all lit up now. But we gotta keep going on that.
I'm pretty sure we didn't have one for a while, and then somebody posted one on Facebook, and we just immediately added that one.
Yeah, it was.
Can you pull up the pinout diagram?
Oh yeah, here we go. I think it's
FC.
FC.
There we go. So, just making sure, since this is a new kit that they sent us, sometimes they send these reverse pinned, because whenever you have, I guess, outward facing receptacles, the plug actually goes the opposite way. So then, yeah, it's right for this one, but then they have to kind of just reverse them whenever they do outward or upward. It's right, and then I want TX3, so I'm going to keep the white one and I'm going to get rid of the yellow one, because we're running Ghosts, so we don't need both. But if we were putting ELRS in here, we'd keep the yellow and we'd wire it up like Crossfire.
Well, these are all the things you don't have to know when you're buying a ready-to-fly drone. It just comes and works. But it's still good to know for when you have to make any repairs and stuff. So I think that's kind of the point of these live streams, is so that somebody can watch and then just general educational, like see the things that like, oh, we have to do this for this reason. And somebody, even if maybe they're not building their own quads, can kind of learn the reason we do several different things.
Yeah.
Somebody says, yo. I think that's Joe, or Nick Hoffman says, sup, baby. Did you know Nick Hoffman is actually the coach of a racquetball team right now?
Really?
High school racquetball.
Did you know that Nick Hoffman used to be like #2 in the United States at
I remember.
racquetball?
So then I think it's pretty cool. He's going back to teach, give back. But I was talking to him yesterday, and he was telling me how fun it was. He said all the kids are pretty nice. That'd be my first worry teaching a high school racquetball team, is that there'd be a couple kids who.
Well, Nick's a pretty cool guy. I feel like if you have any kind of you're like self-conscious about anything and it's obvious, and some kids could kind of tear you apart pretty quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Nick would be a good coach.
Yeah, he can handle it.
Colin Jones says, TinyTrainer is what every inspiring racer should start with. This advice would have saved me 10 to 20K. I think it would have saved a lot of people 10 to 20K. That, as far as the TinyTrainer, again, it's exactly what it sounds like. You get it out, you can beat up on it, you don't have to break a bunch of stuff that's expensive, and it's just durable. Like, you're not going to go out, and if you crash a TinyTrainer at full throttle, like, oh my goodness, what was it? A few days ago, I like flew up really high one time. This was like twice, and I kept having this fail-safe problem. It was like an old TinyTrainer.
That's the one you did your DVR with too. Like that thing didn't sound healthy,
so haggard.
but it flew.
It was so haggard.
Like, pretty well.
But I fail-safed, and I flew up super high, and then it just started falling. And it was having this issue where you couldn't rearm.
I thought you were doing like the disarm trick.
No, I went up and it fail-safed, and then I was like, oh, it'll come back, it'll rearm. Because in theory, if you go up really high and fail-safe, it'll fall back into range and you can rearm. It didn't happen. So it hit the ground, so hard, and then we just took right back off. It was great, after it bound, of course.
I do need to pull up the pin out for this. Let's see.
See, TinyTrainer is so much fun. Wish it flew as long as my Freedom Spec quad, LOL. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. We
ran what, a 66% throttle cap?
Only throttle cap, not a motor output limit, and it slowed it down to a more Freedom Spec speed, and it flew for a long time, like as long as Freedom Spec. So then some may say that's more like DRL, like the slower quad, because TinyTrainers are pretty quick. So we thought about like, what if we did a 66% throttle cap limit, and then that would make it more DRL speed, and you'd fly for longer, but you'd still be able to have the fast spec races, which is what the TinyTrainer's for, at full throttle, and it just doesn't fly for as long. So we're considering it, but also, I don't know, maybe we could, if the limit's 250 grams, we could technically make something a little bit bigger, or have a bigger battery limit, or etc., and have something that flies for longer. But I definitely understand what you're saying, Joe Mama. Somebody says, or Colin says, hopefully that net is fixed this year. I think there were some sketchy net.
Yeah, we're
catches.
not going to do the what do you even call that type of netting? Like
safety
fencing?
It was because we had this idea of a crash gate, and then we didn't actually have the material to use it. So then,
and I didn't even build it. I just like, who wants to build this? And I just allowed three random people to take on the task. Never checked it.
We flew full throttle.
We did. We had complete faith in it. I remember Russell AR like
Well,
going
issue-
full throttle because he was about to lose a race.
Yeah.
And he didn't even hit net, went straight through it, straight into the brick wall.
Because the issue was that the material would break when you would hit it. So the first person who got first or whatever would hit it, and then it would break open. And then there would be a battle for second and third, and then they'd be pushing it full, and it would go straight through. So this year, if there's a crash gate, which I still like, I think it's cool.
We also need smaller netting. So it'll probably be that base, because the other problem was your quad would hit it, get stuck, and then the person behind you would
hit it.
smash you.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, one year we had a mattress that was kind of cool. They would bounce off it.
The old dirty mattress.
Somebody says, when and where is the first TinyTrainer race? It is November 19th in Knoxville, Tennessee. I think we're still locking down the dates for the rest of them. But
Well, we have 1, 4, and 5. 2 and 3, we're
kind of
looking at different dates and possibly another location for one of them. Like we might do one closer to where we used to run them. And then the other one, we'll just pick another date.
Yeah. But we're actively working to do that. But the first one is in, like 2 weeks.
And tonight I'll put up a multi-GP sign up.
Yeah.
Just so we can figure out who's all coming. And then tomorrow we're actually going to the venue, making sure everything's working. Because we have to tap into their live stream cameras, because they already have cameras set up and they're all PTZ, so they can point them around.
Yeah, it's
and we're going to make sure that all works, and we're going to make sure that there's no issues with like plugging in a timer. Because ideally we could plug everything into their network, and it makes it super easy.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll make sure everything works tomorrow, and then yeah, that'll be pretty smooth sailing once we go there on the day of the race.
Yeah, I would say we'll probably try and have something on our website as well, as far as just general information or tickets and stuff like that you can find on the website. Somebody says, probably will make the first one, but I want to come down for a couple. That would be awesome. Let's see. Colin says, any new pictures of the new venue? We will probably take a bunch of pictures tomorrow, if I were to guess.
Yeah.
But basically, it's this. Our last one was at a very old church, but this year it's at like this brand new church, and it's got like all this amazing live stream set up, and it's air conditioned and heated, and they're gonna have food trucks. Like they want to turn it into this big thing. So hopefully it'll be like
you can watch one of their services.
Yeah, we can pull that up.
Because you can look up the Grove Church in, what is it, like Kingston, Tennessee?
Oh yeah, Kingston.
And if you look that up, their website is like ilovemygrove.com or something, but they also have a YouTube channel with the same name. And if you look that up, you can see what the area looks like. It'll just be a big empty room.
Yeah, it'd be a big empty room.
Because right now, like they just put a bunch of chairs in there, and we get to take all the chairs out.
We may do some indoor-outdoor type tracks if the weather's good. It should be like way better. I mean, obviously the old church was cool. It was cold. Maybe in a bit of a sketchy area, but this year it should be like.
Oh yeah, we'll have parking.
We'll have. Oh my gosh, we'll have real parking, a real parking lot. We'll have fast internet. It'll be fully heated and cooled and everything. It's a huge space.
Toilets that you're not afraid of clogging.
Yeah, real toilets. Oh, it'll be great. Colin says heat is a major improvement. I agree. Colin, that's Sloth's dad. They're from Florida, so.
Hey, everybody got the chance to go into the heated pits of the church, and I had to sit out the entire time.
I can't tell you how, and maybe call me a wimp, but going up and down those stairs, I can't tell you how many times I went up and down those stairs.
Found any reason to?
Well, it was just like go down, grab it, because battery charging was downstairs, and then you'd be able to fly. But then you wanted to watch your friend fly, and then you have to come back upstairs. And then you have to
that's
spot.
Another nice thing about this spot. You'll always be able to see people flying because
they have so many
monitors
TVs.
they have in the. I guess the main area, the mass area. I still need to figure out what the correct
we don't know
word
the names
is for that room. But there's 3 screens in there, like big screens. But then they also have flat screens out in the lobby that will mirror exactly what's on those. So you'll be able to see the leaderboard and you'll be able to see the FPV feeds of who's up.
You won't have to look it up on your phone on some website that nobody knows. It'll just be on the screen because it's like a really nice church that has all these monitors outside for people who are outside, and then it also has like the room where I guess service happens, which will have where the actual track is. And there's like a projector and all these screens and cameras. It's really cool. So we're hoping it works out. We're really excited to partner with them. And again, as far as anybody who went to TinyTrainer races last year and coming to this, it should be like a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade.
Okay, so I taped down the motor wires, and then all you got to do is plug them in.
That's so nice.
It's the same plug as like your camera. So if you can plug a camera in, I'm pretty sure you can handle this.
Yeah. So the motors come with the plugs pre-installed. This AIO, which again we're hoping to have a lot more of, will come with the plugs pre-installed. You just plug them in. If you don't want to use the plugs, or if you have an all-in-one that doesn't have the plugs, you just cut off the motors, or cut off the plug at the very end, and then solder it on like complete normal. There's plenty of slack left over to where that's not a problem.
So that looks clean. And then my camera has a wire coming down under. I put it under the flight controller just so there's not a ton of wires on top. And then there's a little plug off here, and I'm just going to put these two together. And that's ready to go. Oh, I forgot you were over there building a quad too.
Oh yeah, I'm building a footy for the store. So this is going to have Champs Edition motors, Foxier stack, all the good stuff. And then we're actually working to become a Walk Snail and DJI vendor here soon. So for all the people who want to have digital for their freestyle or filming or cruising quads, then we should be able to have that as well. But this one will be analog for right now. For all those people who still like their tried and true analog for freestyle or whatever it may be. But should be a pretty sweet build, but we figure if we're going to want to run a live stream, we might as well be both doing something at one time.
Oh, yeah.
So somebody says, RV parking on site.
It's a pretty huge
It's a
parking
huge
lot,
parking lot.
but,
I just
like,
don't know.
I'm not sure they'll have like RV hookups.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by
I-
RV parking? Because there's different levels of RV parking.
Yeah, there's the hookup and then sewer and all that. I think, if anything else, there would be a nearby nice campground. Like, this is Knoxville, Tennessee, and camping is so, like, definitely popular. So if nothing else, I would bet there's a really nice local campground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I would bet money. Nick says, do you guys have 5-inch stacks in stock? We do. That's what we're putting on this footy right now. It's we have the Foxier Slim 60 Reaper ESC, the one that Min Chan used to win the multi-GP champs, and then the Foxier flight controller that goes right with it, plug and play.
I guess this is our first live stream since champs.
Oh, it is, yeah.
We're still recovering.
Yeah, Mondo was on like this, what
Trip
would you call
across
it?
America.
Yeah, this
Just completely unplanned.
last second. It was like the morning of we were supposed to be leaving, or the day before. Mondo had some family issues that he had to go handle, whatever. That's great, family health, whatever. And then he had to go take care of that. So then he couldn't go to Champs, but we still needed the store to go down. And then I had to leave the next day for a job. I drove all the way down there with no idea how my car was going to make it back. And that was probably, I mean, you talk about being 19 with no fears. I was like, I'll just drive my car down and I'll figure out how to get it back. And my dad called me stupid, I don't know how many times, rightfully so. He was like, so you still don't know how? He called me so many times.
Yeah, he kept asking me for an update too.
You still don't know how it's getting back. Nope, I don't. Don't know how. Eventually, we found a way. Josh Lewis actually drove it most of the way back. It got 50% closer, I would say. Went from a 10-hour drive to about a 4-hour drive, really. And thanks to Josh Lewis for driving my car back from Champs. And Mondo everything ended up being just fine. But
Yeah, because then I had to plan a last-second flight to Florida, but I didn't have any quad stuff because it was here.
So you flew quad docs.
Maryville, Tennessee. So yeah, I flew all of quad doc stuff. I now have
Use
a
the
one
black.
duck requirement for all quads.
And you won. What did you technically win? Next 40?
I won next 40. So I got 41st place
41st.
without my quads. A Switchback Classic.
It was pretty sweet. It was pretty cool.
It was good racing.
Oh, it was great. I watched it on the stream. I was so proud. And just to lose to somebody with a duck on your quad makes it way worse. I know Colin, he was racing against Quad Doc, and I know that he had the same battle rivalry with the ducks.
He knows the pain.
And knows the pain. That is too
I guess
funny.
after I beat Din in that heat, he's like, I think these ducks are going to catch on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about that, but maybe.
Oh, they're gonna catch on. We're gonna have ducks of some kind. I tried to get Christmas ducks, but the supplier I found had like only had these super creepy looking Christmas ducks, and I was like, we can't sell that, or we can't put those in orders. And then all the cute ones were out of stock, so we might have to get some non-Christmas related ducks, but we'll have something. Paul Atkins says, was some fun duck flying, quack. It was.
Paul Atkins kept trying to like boost my morale. He kept saying, "You don't look too happy out there." He's like, "You just need to just go out there and fly better," basically.
Paul Atkins, he's like one of the best things about drone racing, in my opinion.
I just had the theory that he was betting on me, so he was trying to get me to
Maybe
fly
he
a
was.
little better.
Maybe he was. Different alter motives there.
He's just over there kissing his lucky horse.
Let's see. Somebody says, I just checked and it was only 13 hours from Texas. I'm not, but he said it with a happy face.
Hey,
So
it's
I'm not-
all relative to
Yeah,
how
I
far
guess.
you've driven.
And then if you are going to fly to a TinyTrainer race, the best one to fly to is, or there's two. The closest one is Knoxville, so it'll be TYS. And then the second closest would be Nashville. You might be able to get way cheaper flights to Nashville. Like if you have a Southwest airport nearby, Nashville's the way to go. But when you get here, it's like a 2-hour drive from Nashville, which sucks. But Knoxville, or the TYS airport, is like
It's a
15
pretty
minutes.
scenic drive from
15
Nashville.
minutes.
Like usually highway drives suck, but like I feel like you go through some mountains.
Yeah,
and
you
hills
got through some nice places.
from Nashville.
But-
And if you want to sell it to your significant other, just tell them you can have a little cabin in the Smokies or
There
something.
you go. Yeah, if you want to go to
Yeah.
Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and get a cabin, you'll be looking at like a 45-minute drive to and from the race, but there are some beautiful cabins, some really nice Airbnbs. You can get a nice Airbnb in downtown Knoxville. It's got to go to Market Square. That could be, I mean, there's a million different ways you could sell it to the whole family to take a trip down to a TinyTrainer race in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm sure of it. Let's see. Are there any LED requirements, if any, for the TinyTrainer series? If so, what are they?
You just need 8 LEDs. I don't care about RGB. I don't care how you're doing it. Just 8 LEDs so we can see you.
Yeah.
It makes it better for spotters. It makes it better for spectators. We're
You can-
hoping to have some spectators at this event.
Yeah, it
or
sounds
these
like the
events.
church wants to have people come by and check it out, so you'll be, you might get some
We
drone
used
racing
to do
fans.
RGB, and then your channel had a color. It was like red, white, blue, green for 1, 3, 6, and 8. But that ended up just causing more trouble than it was worth. And then I started running COB LEDs and not even listening to my own rules. So yeah,
Gosh darn it, Mondo.
no
I'm
RGB. Well, I technically followed the rules. I had my like green and blue ones,
Yeah.
but then I put a little one on the
I remember
body
that.
to
It was such a
technically be
what a
spec.
move. Oh my
What a move.
Breaking your own rules. Can't believe you.
Hey, sometimes you gotta break them so you can figure out what's better, right?
Let's see. Somebody says, or Paul says, I drove through some Tennessee on the way home from Champs. Love that state. Yeah, it's especially East Tennessee near the mountains and everything. You are close to a bunch of really cool. It's a cool area, I think. So there's a bunch of fun things to do. So again, you can sell it to whoever you need to sell it to make it drive down, get a sweet Airbnb in Knoxville, go to Gatlinburg, and the race won't be in a abandoned, scary church. So although the scary church was really cool, very, very cool.
I wouldn't say it was scary. Like the church itself was pretty nice. The area and then
Parking and the bathroom situation.
Yeah, the
like,
bathrooms.
I don't think my butt cheeks have ever been colder in my entire life than having to convince myself to sit on that toilet and suffer through that.
priorities.
It was, but this year there's going to be real bathrooms, real food. I remember, oh my goodness, if Nick is still watching, I remember we. Colin says the area was sketchy as ... So if that, but that, he's talking about last year, not this year, folks. I remember we ordered DoorDash, and we would always order Five Guys, and it was so good. But one time they delivered it to the wrong place, and we we thought the neighbor stole our DoorDash, and it was like a $200 Five Guys order, and Nick was ready to go like tell this lady that she stole our Five Guys, but apparently they just delivered it to the wrong place, and all was well. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And this year we're gonna have there'll be some kind of food trucks. They wanted to like smoke some brisket because they have like a huge smoker in the back. These were all ideas that were thrown out there. And I'm sure at least some of them will happen, hopefully, but it should be an upgrade at the very least, and it should be really
100%.
nice. And even if you don't come to the first one, you can check out the first one on our stream and see how it looks to you guys, and then come to the next one. See. Sean.
Than ever before. Yeah, Sean's had some trouble. Because But when we were in the warehouse, we didn't have, like, poopable toilets.
Yeah.
So he'd, like, always get, like, a place nearby, and then he's, like... he'd always disappear, like, the same time of day. I think it's, like, right after the coffee hit.
Yeah, there you go.
And then he'd have to go walk so he could do the deed.
Yeah. This year it'll be way better. It'll be great, and it should be cool. Hopefully, video's all right and all that stuff. There'll be some hurdles to jump through, I think.
You think this will catch on
But
fire?
it'll be all right.
I think it's good.
Oh, you need to come over here.
Huh? No, not yet. I need to plug it in and then look it
See if
over.
it smokes. Putting gummies in FCs over here. Let's see. Getting old sucks, Sean.
This is basically the only one they shipped us, so you'd think they picked a good one, right? Yeah.
Wow,
Perfect.
look at that. And the flight controller tones.
Nice. LEDs won't turn on until we program, but yeah, I'm probably going to come over there.
Okay,
Start
I'll swap with you.
But yeah, I think that's built. I put in VTX, I put a receiver in, and I added a little LED, like one of the ARM LEDs from the Menage kit. We have more of these coming, but I usually only put one on the body. And then that meets requirements. You have at least 8, and then you can even make these RGB. I'll show you how to make them.
I think mine for sure, I want the full LED kit. It looks way too cool.
Oh, I need you to bind me.
You got a bind? Where's your radio?
Did you bring your radio? Or are we using mine?
It's in my car, but
You can use mine.
bind yours up.
We'll make Evan test fly it, though.
Uh-oh. Do a flip.
Did you post that bind and fly video from yesterday?
No, I need to do that because I wanted to add a couple things.
I just remembered because this was still in Express LRS.
Somebody says, to confirm, 3.35 per cell is spec. Yes, a normal HV charge is spec.
3.35 volts?
Or 4.3.
4.35.
Sorry, probably just a typo. It's okay.
Did we put 3.35? Or
3.35 is the dead bat. I'm sure it was a typo.
Yeah. 4.35 is the highest you can charge it. We'll have a little battery checker on the line, basically just like Freedom Spec.
And I want to do a mulligan type thing. So, like, the issue with Freedom Spec is that everyone will charge to 4.37, even Mondo. Again, Mondo breaks all of his own rules. But so this year I want to have, there's a battery checker. You have 1 life, or maybe 2 lives. So the first time if you're over, okay, that's fine. Lower it down however you need to. But after that, you have to plug it in, and it cannot be above 4.35. And we'll give you another battery checker so you can check before you come to the line. But when you come to the line, it needs to pass a test immediately. And if you don't, then I think we can come up with some...
We'll have a whiteboard.
Penalty.
It's Evan's little list.
I will
And it's
enforce
like
it.
you
But
write-
there'll be some
write
kind of
their
penalty.
calls.
Maybe even like, I don't want you to not fly, but maybe like 5 seconds off the line you have to wait.
For that heat.
Yeah, and then every other life that you lose, it's another 5 seconds.
That was some good racing when we did that, like wait on the line. Heart of America versus
it was cool.
White Goat.
White Goat.
I'm going to take your spot.
Go for it.
So ideally, this is going to be a quick setup. And then we're just going to send it. So typically we just have to reverse 2 motors. Let's see. Oh, you were looking at YouTube videos. And then, let's see.
Colin
Reverse 2
says,
motors.
yes, we caught Amari a bit spicy last year. So look at that.
Oh, Amari's
getting,
always spicy. Then he's like, oh, let me bleed some off.
Amari's getting called out.
Who did we? I think it was Manny. Yeah, I think we caught Manny spicy, and we were like, "Yeah, you got to spin it up for a little bit." And he literally just like armed it and disarmed it. Me and Grow were like, "Really? It's gonna take a little more than that."
That is too funny.
Because we like hover it and like let it fly a little bit, and then give it some throttle
Yeah,
pumps. He's
that'll
just like
lower it.
arm, disarm. He's like, "Oh, we're good. We're definitely good now." So let's see. Ports. You want to make sure you have UART3 as your serial, and then you want to make sure you have. If you're using a Foxy or VTX, you'll put Tramp on UART6, or if you're using something else, you set it to Smart Audio. When you're running Ghost, you can also wire your telemetry pad from your Addo to this Foxy or VTX, and it has all the same functionality through the back of the radio, except for pit switching. It doesn't do the whole pit like team stuff, but you can change all the channels and everything in power from your Ghost module if you wire it up that way, but I like to do it Smart Audio. And then, so that's all good. It's going to be named TinyTrainer. there, presets. So here's where you're going to find your preset, BMI. And then there's a dole. You don't want that. You want this one. We want with RPM filters, and I think we're going to do D-Shot 600, so we'll pick that. Oh, somebody else did. They were doing that at the World Games too.
Well, the World Games it's FAI, so that there was a HV limit.
Gotcha. So let's see. There is a TinyTrainer tune somewhere.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Oh, I went right past it. But there's a karate one.
Somebody says camera control not being on the AO is my only pet peeve, and I just don't think I've ever used.
I always
camera
have
control.
this dongle
Oh, there you go.
that comes off the side, and I always leave it like semi-accessible because we have that big cutout. So I usually just have to get a little tweezer in there.
It's cool.
We're good. 533 karate. I clicked the wrong one again. There it is. Karate. Dynamic idle. We're good. Pick. Save and reboot.
Are you gonna put the?
And then the Ghost Pure Race.
Yeah.
One thing I've never figured out or tested is, can I just pick like 3 presets and apply them at once? Because I always do one,
I know.
save and reboot, one, save and reboot.
Yeah, I don't know, and I've always been scared because I do the same thing. I'm not sure.
So I do the Ghost Pure Race, and I set it for racing. I assume that does your feed forward.
Yeah. Double A. Hello there, Evan Amondo. Double A is on every drone racing stream ever. I'm pretty sure.
Not even ours, like every other.
I'm pretty sure
really?
multi-GP, all of them. I've always seen double A.
So let's see. We need rates. Which rate should we put on this?
Do the not actual.
Oh, crap. We're going to do 533.
0.95 on roll.
No, these are Evan's new rates. Mine I don't remember. So
Oh, yeah, you've got
I
some
was
new
going to look
rates.
it up. I'm going to save those. Everything else was set by those presets, your filters, your PIDs, all set in presets. We just set the rate profile. So we should have Ghost here. If I plug this in, we should see some movement.
We gotta do the LEDs next.
Yep, look at that. We're getting movement. So that's good. Yeah, I'll probably do the LEDs, but I always do aux 1 as arm, and then turtle mode aux 3 high. And we send that information with it, and it's always AETR channel order. Motors, I want to see which 2 I have to reverse. Let's see. This one's wrong. This one's correct. This one's wrong. And this one's correct. So we need 1 and 4. So some of them need the heat shrink pushed down a little bit. You can hear it rubbing on it, but that's what that rubbing sound was. 1 and 4.
Looks like Colin is saying you need to do the filter and tune first, and it sounds like then you save and exit, then you do the RX preset. So you need to do.
That's the.
That's what you just did.
Yeah,
that's what you just did. But
So you can't apply them.
he was saying just in case your tune preset contained any RC smoothing,
Ah, gotcha.
because I guess it would override or something.
So in here, I like to turn off demag compensation. I always turn off temperature protection. I don't do any like the Freedom Spec stuff over here, but I do turn up motor timing, and then I like to run 48. So we'll write that, and then we'll flip 1 and 4.
We got the good ESC setting. That's what we want.
And then disconnect. We're almost there.
How do I open the garage door?
There's a button on the wall back here, right there.
I see it.
We're not there yet.
Oops.
We're not there yet. We still need LEDs. There's construction going on next door, so it could get loud. LED strips already on. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. So we're going to do wire ordering and put 0 through 11. It's okay if you do a little extra. Sometimes I do a color modifier if I want to go so you can go through the entire spectrum or get red, white, blue, and green. I'll do color modifier, I'll put it on an aux channel, and then I'll set this as blue, then that usually gives you the full range of colors. But we'll just make this one a nice heads-up teal, because we're doing teal canopy, teal everything. Look at that.
Ooh.
So you got LEDs now. Our video transmitter, we're going to set to race band 1. Now, am I forgetting a single thing? I think we're good. I think I just got to make sure. Yeah, motors reversed. Does motors reverse come in the karate preset? Because I didn't reverse them.
That would be cool.
Yeah, she's ready. Yeah, so that's all set up. And then typically the next step is to plug the battery in, let her sit there. You arm it up, because this is a good test to see if like your motor ordering's wrong in Betaflight or one of your motors is backwards, because if you like arm it up and you give it some yaw, it'll freak out if it was wrong. But we're right, it didn't do anything weird. And I like to put my props on before I put the canopy on, because then you can hover it, because it's the worst thing whenever you put your canopy on, cut your zip ties, then you put your props on and realize, oh, I gotta change something up in there. And then once we're getting you set up to fly this, we will... Should I have done the BMI preset after the tune then?
We will find out. We're learning along the way.
So just make sure your props aren't going to hit anything after you put them on. Slide your little battery in. I'm going to be so sad to see this one go. This is going to be a nice build.
I gotta go vote after this. It's my first time ever voting.
Heads up! That sounds clean already.
Sounds clean to me.
But, okay, if you want to put the canopy on it,
Yeah.
I will start doing... I have to get this video receiver plugged in,
Oh, you're gonna do the full.
so they can see it fly.
All right.
We're not hiding anything here.
Yeah, just fly different times.
Yeah, it's like, and hurry up, switch it.
Okay. I have batteries charged over there.
I used to have a VRX button over here. So let's see, I think it's in here. That's not it. Oh, there we go. Now we have some video. I can make it bigger too.
Cool.
That was a terrifying test with a BMI gyro.
Well, you're doing it right next to me.
It's good. I can disarm quick.
I was just scared. Well, I was scared for two reasons. One, Mondo line of sighting. And probably more so than the BMI gyro.
That's kind of funny. I think that's all set. Now you just gotta wait for Evan to fly this. I gotta open this garage door.
I'm intrigued.
I have not tested if anything's gonna get knocked down. The only thing I have
This
RC
quad is
glider
so
hanging up here. And
Okay.
let's see if it hits.
Oh.
Oh, we're
Oh,
good.
I thought it was gonna hook and.
We're good.
All right. Well, that was scary.
Let's see if I can. Nope, I can't even pull it down in
Can't
the
even
view.
show them. Mondo 3D printed an airplane, a full-size airplane.
We have yet to fly it. Waiting on USPS for the last little pieces.
What do you need?
Those linkage stoppers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You need to hurry up.
It's gonna get a nice 80 degrees in here in 1 second.
Well, it's it was hot in here.
Once I open these, it started getting better.
Definitely was better. All right, I need those 4 zip ties, and we're ready. Fully test and tuned. Okay, where's the? Oh, there.
Zip ties. There should be some nice side cutters over there.
Nice. I was always very particular about how I put my zip ties on.
They just got to be symmetric, right?
Yeah, exactly. Voila. Hopefully I don't scare a neighbor. Are they still building those houses over there?
There's like 4 pipes going up. You can slalom.
Oh, perfect. Got my slalom.
We'll test fail safe. Maybe it's my mom. No, you were fail safe too on that quad.
Yeah.
But only when we were both turned on, I feel like. Like when we both had our radios on.
Yeah, well, I think we were both at like 350 milliwatts. There was a lot going. There was a lot wrong. Okay. Let's fly.
Or I guess we didn't check if the videos flipped and everything. I guess we'll find out real quick.
I'll fly it upside down.
Do you think you'd crash?
No, I would crash so fast. Put a hole in Monda's truck.
If a TinyTrainer could put a hole in my truck,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not.
we probably shouldn't be flying it indoors.
All right.
Oh, these things are harmless.
They are. Okay, here we go. Let's plug it in. See, did you already put it on R1?
Yeah. According to Betaflight. We haven't tested
Oh,
anything.
it looks good to me.
There's no OS. Oh, it's in PAL. Let's set it to NTSC real quick.
Okay. Just grab the little thing. I definitely shoved it in there.
Oh, I got it.
All right. How'd you know it was in PAL so fast?
Because there's no OSD.
Ah, need tweezers?
Yes.
I've definitely moved it.
Let's see.
Is these? What did I do
Were
with
they
them?
not right here?
They were, because I definitely was like looking at them and thinking like, man, these things are weird. Oh, here they are.
Where'd you shove it? See, this is why you don't put your canopy on.
Yeah, exactly. It's always, if it looks so nice and pretty, always a problem.
Okay.
Do you have a camera controller?
Camera controller right here.
Perfect.
Yeah, you want to grab my goggles out of my bag?
Yeah.
Let's see. I can see the white wire. I might just cut one zip tie, lift the arm, and get to it.
Okay.
And then we'll put it back on. Well, technically, we can still test fly it and see how it flies in PAL, but I just want it to be ready to go.
The 533 version comes in power, or in NTSC, right?
Yeah, this
That's
is.
because I've never done. This is
We
one
got these from
Race
Race
Day
Day
Quad.
quads.
I was about to say I haven't changed one from PAL to NTSC in forever. But we will have the 533 version in stock super soon. A whole lot of.
Okay, we're plugged in, and I can also turn off those OSD elements. So what is you like hold left or you hold up? It's not left. Is it up?
Colin says Exhibit A camera control. Where can I find the TinyTrainer spec rules? I think you can on the TinyTrainer frame kit homepage. Like if you go to the TinyTrainer frame kit product page, isn't at the bottom you have the spec listed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spec listed.
So that should
Oh,
have.
look at that OSD. You get your 533 boot up logo. Now we're gonna turn this off, and I'm pretty sure that's all we gotta do. There we go, TinyTrainer. Look, there's the glider I was talking about.
There it is. Yeah, we can just show them. We'll do a fly through, house fly through.
Host a TinyTrainer race in New Jersey / PA area. I need to do a race in PA. My parents live in Pennsylvania, and we
Oh.
have a 60-acre farm, and like 40 acres of it is just fields. And we could
Why don't
totally
we-
host like a super race in
A
Pennsylvania.
super race.
I mean, like it would be great. Like
That is cool.
there's tons of parking area. There's tons of like it's all mowed. The only thing like it's all on hills because it's PA.
Oh yeah,
So like
very hilly.
it wouldn't be a flat field at all. Like the track would
Mm.
all be on like this huge slant. And there's technically like wooded areas we could fly because where we grew up, we spent most of our time just riding dirt bikes out. So, and we have trails all through the woods. But yeah, if I did host a race in PA, it would be in Washington, Pennsylvania, at my parents' farm.
So why can't I change this to R1? It's on R7.
Oh, you got to do it on the radio because it's
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's another reason I usually when I'm setting up for myself, I will wire it so it's controlled through Ghost because it controls my goggles as well.
It's actually kind of cool.
But yeah, you can see your tealed out 533 battery.
All right, let's go. See if it flies good.
Give it a hover. Let's see. She's ready. And this is all line of sight.
Now we're in goggles.
Goggles down. I think it works.
There's Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, R1 you get pretty bad Wi-Fi. I need to watch Sean Ames' video on getting my Wi-Fi off the FPV channels.
All right. Looks good to me.
Should we order more?
I think so.
Okay, looks like we're getting some BMI AIOs. And we can even put this diff up, and then they don't even got to think.
That's good to me.
Is there anything else we want to cover in this?
We have to take pictures of it and put it in the store.
Take some pictures of it. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're clean there. How's your footy turn out?
There's motors in a stack on it. we're
Yeah, we're gonna work on having some footies on the store, and we're gonna be working on. Oh, he says I got you, so he's probably gonna send me a link to his Wi-Fi video. But I'm pretty happy with how that flew. And then we're gonna build up like 5 more with F722s this week and put those on the store. So y'all
got an outhouse because I circled the portable.
Oh yeah, there's houses being built over here. And there's an alarming amount of people that stop by to use it, as if it's like a public restaurant.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you. And yeah, look out for this on the store, and we'll have more as well. But this is a TinyTrainer with Ghost, 2mm frame, Fox ear predator, left-hand circular polarized VTX antenna, F405 AIO, and it's completely spec. Emma, you want to say hi and bye?
Can you say bye, Emma?
Look, right here.
You want to say hi, bye to the people?
Is your brother awake yet? No. Yeah, we're doing this live stream while Cameron's sleeping. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining. I'm gonna go watch this Wi-Fi YouTube video, and we're gonna get some better FPV going here.
There you go. See you guys.
Say bye.